line. You know, everyone's excited to see Chip Kelly and UCLA. They're on the road at Cincinnati. Did you know they're an underdog tonight? The Bearcats at home in a game you'll see on ESPN are a 2.5-point favorite over the UCLA Bruins, a sneaky big line in college football this evening. And we are pleased to bring in Pat McAfee, who will be in the booth tonight for UCLA Cincinnati. You'll see at 7 Eastern on ESPN. Pat, what's the one thing we have the closest eye on in this game?
I think tonight you got to watch both offenses. I think last year UCLA's record is not indicative of the team that they have. And I think an entire offseason with Chip Kelly and the boys over there, a lot of the players at UCLA got a chance to learn the why behind why Chip Kelly does things, the why we're doing this to set up for this. And I think a lot of the players bought into that. So the trust level is high between the UCLA coaching staff and the players. The camaraderie is built. 87 freshmen and sophomores on the team. So they're really building something special. And with Coach Fickell in Cincinnati, last year they won 11 games out of nowhere. This city is excited and electric about a team being great again like they were back in the day. I think tonight's offenses have a chance to be much better than they were last year. And I think tonight's environment at Nippert Stadium is going to be a magical one. And I'm very excited to be on the call. And I think it's going to be a great way to continue this first week of the 150th season of college football.
Now he's ready to go. Again, you'll see it tonight, 7 Eastern. Let me get a quick take from you on some of the big NFL stories. Obviously, we're all still keeping an eye on Dallas and Zeke Elliott. Do you expect him on the field week 1 when they play the Giants on that Sunday night?
I just feel as if this might carry into week 2, week 3, and I think Jerry Jones might even like that. Now, granted, Ezekiel Elliott is a incredible football player. He is a guy that goes as the Cowboys go. But Jerry Jones and Zeke have both been very calculated with everything that they've done. Every soundbite that Jerry leaks out is posturing. It's good business. He says this, I'm joking, I'm allowed to do this. We can win a Super Bowl without a running back. And then he comes back and talks about how much he likes Zeke. Ezekiel Elliott's camp leaks that he's in the best shape he's been since rookie year. This is all business stuff that's coming to a head in the public's eye. I think they'll get it settled, but I do think it might carry a couple weeks. But I think Jerry Jones will be much happier whenever Zeke is out of Mexico and in a Dallas Cowboys uniform. And I think Cowboys fans should be excited about that as well.
That's one thing we've been watching all summer long. The other has been Antonio Brown and Jon Gruden in Oakland. How do you expect that to go?
I think with these big personalities, and Antonio Brown is definitely that, and he's not the only one, by the way. There's a lot of big personalities in the NFL. And I think what Jon Gruden has done is tried to earn the trust and the friendship of Antonio Brown through this whole thing. I never got a chance to really know Jon Gruden as a coach. I've only seen him on Monday Night Football. I thought he was going to be a real hard ass of a coach. And then you watch Hard Knocks on training camp, and it feels as if he's a guy's guy. Knock on wood if you're with me. I feel like he's really trying to win over Antonio Brown, and I feel like Derek Carr is doing the same thing. And if Antonio Brown loves his teammates, loves his coaches, loves his mission, I think he'll show up in a big way for them. But once the bullets start flying and if things start going south, I mean, who knows what'll happen. But I like the way Jon Gruden has been approaching the situation with the greatest wide receiver in the game, who just so happens to be terrible with taking care of his feet in a cold thing.
Final quick thought for you, Pat. I have plans tonight to go see the Jonas Brothers in concert at Madison Square Garden, and I find myself with an extra ticket. Are you interested in coming?
I would hop on a plane immediately to be with the Greenie to watch the Joe Bros. I saw the Joe Bros on Songland, and this isn't the Purity Rings Joe Bros of the past. This is an entirely new group of men that have transformed their life, and their music is banger after banger after banger. I think you're in for the night of your life. If I wasn't calling a blackout at Nippert Stadium, UCLA traveling to Cincinnati, must-see TV, I'd be on the first thing smoking out of this PBS studio with Big Bird next door to sit right next to you and listen to the Joe Bros seduce our ears.
I am so glad that we decided to do that. We will see you tonight. Pat, enjoy the game. We'll see you soon.
Thank you, Greenie. You're the best, man.
All right, that was fun. To fantasy football, last year's top fantasy running back Saquon Barkley's average draft position is 1.4. That's the earliest among all players. No player has finished as the top running back in consecutive seasons in the last 15 years. The top wideout is DeAndre Hopkins. His average draft position is 6.5, behind only Barkley, McAfee, Kamara, and Zeke Elliott. And then one quarterback inspiring debates in a lot of drafts is the real-life number one overall pick, Kyler Murray. In fantasy, he currently ranks 14th among quarterbacks in average draft position. Now, we're officially a week away from the start of the season. You probably have your draft sometime soon. Mine is next Tuesday. So, Field Yates, I have a bunch of questions, and I need a bunch of answers. We'll do it in either-or fashion. Let's start with the quarterback we just mentioned. Either-or, Kyler Murray or Lamar Jackson. Who you got?
Give me the rookie here, Greeny. Kyler Murray, one of two quarterbacks ever to throw for 4,000 passing yards and rush for 1,000 in a college season, along with Deshaun Watson. The edge here for Kyler Murray over Lamar Jackson is just being a better thrower overall. I'm not even sure there's a huge difference between supporting casts around them, but we know this much. Lamar Jackson, 58% completion percentage last year, has a lot of room to grow as a thrower in his second NFL season.
A running back, either the current Steeler or the former Steeler, Le'Veon Bell or James Conner.
You really think I would come on your show, Greeny, and not pick Le'Veon Bell, the newest Jet running back, who I understand a lot of people are disappointed with how last year went, and they feel let down by him in fantasy football. But sometimes I think people forget just how uniquely talented of a player Le'Veon Bell is, arguably the best receiving back in the NFL. And I think this offense, Greeny, and I'm not just trying to pander to you here, has a chance to be decidedly better this year. A lot more of a buttoned-up operation in New York.
I have the 7th pick. If he's there, I'm taking him. Next, another running back battle. A Duke Johnson or Austin Eckler?
I'm going to go with Duke Johnson here, Greeny. He's never had more than 104 carries in a single NFL season, but he leads all running backs in terms of receiving yards since entering the NFL 4 seasons ago. And with Austin Eckler, I like the player, but if, and this is a major if, Melvin Gordon shows up at any time early on in the season, Eckler is relegated back to a backup role. For now, Duke Johnson is the clear workhorse or the best back in that Houston backfield.
Let me go to wide receiver. Either or, Devontae Adams or DeAndre Hopkins?
Absolutely love both of these players. This is the narrowest gap to have to choose. But I'll go with Devontae Adams, who's the only player in the NFL with 10 or more receiving touchdowns in each of the past 3 seasons. As a matter of fact, Hopkins the only other player with consecutive back-to-back 10-plus receiving touchdown seasons. But for Adams, he has shown that with Aaron Rodgers, he's magical. Without Aaron Rodgers, which we have unfortunately seen recently, he's still outstanding. This guy is as good as it gets at wide receiver in the NFL.
And then finally, a tight end, Field Yates, either or, Travis Kelce or Zach Ertz?
And we like consistency. We like superstardom. Travis Kelce and Ertz offer both of that. But how about Kelce's touchdown upside? It's magnificent in that incredible offense. And last year, he had 5 or more catches in 15 out of 16 games. That was the most of any player at any position in the NFL. I think the sure thing here is Travis Kelce, that Chiefs offense, basically where it was last year. Even if there's not 50 touchdowns for Patrick Mahomes, 40 would not surprise me at all, and 10 of them going to Kelce is my expectation.
All right, and final question for you, Field. What are you doing next Tuesday at 3? Because that's when my draft is. I need you to be standing by to phone. I need access to Field Yates.
FaceTime, text message, phones, you name it, Greeny. I'm there for you, bud.
Outstanding. Thank you very much. Remember, you can sign up and play fantasy football on ESPN.com right now. As we continue, Kobe and Shaq. They seem to have a brief Twitter beef yesterday. Then it seemed to be settled. Does Jalen Rose think everything is fine? He'll tell you that next. Get Up on ESPN.